automatic lover.
The Gigantor idea came from a couple years ago when I'd hurt my arm. I didn't really know what I was going to do with my career if I couldn't play. So I came up with the idea of possibly doing a festival and possibly being the host. And as my arm continued to heal, it became clear to me that I was going to be able to play again. I didn't choose a character from a cartoon. The name Gigantor, you know, when you've done something like Monsters of Rock, Clash of the Titans, there's something really great sounding about that, and the word Gigantor just is really got a great meaning to it. It doesn't have anything to do with the cartoon, but even the cartoon, the character from the cartoon was great. It's a young boy and his robot who take on evil, and for me, it's pretty much what I'm trying to accomplish with Gigantor, because in the States, there's a lot of bands that have traveled touring and burnt the promoter. The promoter in turn raises ticket prices. People don't come to see the bands because the ticket prices are so expensive, and it affects the touring market. What I wanted to do with Gigantor was have ticket prices really low and have very talented bands and just do something totally different. So it's my idea going against something that is an established ideal in the music business. You know, bands going out there charging way too much money for the promoters, and the promoters have to, you know, take that to the public. If I don't charge them a lot of money to play, then the ticket prices are going to be more affordable. I think that has a lot to do with if the band really loves their fans. If they really love playing, then they're not going to try and take advantage of their fans. I know that there's a couple tours in the States right now where people are charging in excess of $300,000 a show for their bands, and the promoters are getting ruined, and these guys don't care because they know that their careers are going to be over soon. You know, it's some of these bands that are pop and hip-hop guys that just, you know, they don't have a long period to be successful. And there are a lot of pop and hip-hop acts that have been around for a very long time, but some of these guys are just so big right now they can't possibly maintain that stature. Yeah, we already started booking it right now, so hopefully this will be an annual thing. I don't know that Megadeth is going to do it again next year, but since it was my festival, I'm going to be involved in it, and Megadeth doesn't have to be involved in it. It's not Gigantor Megadeth Fest, you know. It's a festival that's about people having a good time, going to a rock concert, going to a metal concert, going with your friends, not having to spend, you know, an arm and a leg to get tickets, seeing very talented bands, discovering some new acts that you wouldn't necessarily see, and walking away feeling satisfied. Oh, I'm not a promoter, but the thing with Gigantor, as an organizer of an event, that's different from being the promoter. The promoter is as a skill all in its own, and I think the way that I worked with the promoters on this last festival, that they were really happy to see that I wasn't doing things business as usual. You know, it wasn't about, hey, I know that this is the first time, you know, you may sell a couple nights that are really good. There may be some that aren't that good, but I'm not going to let you off the hook. There were a couple shows that didn't sell very good, and I told the person, you know what, we'll give you some money back. And that's, you just don't see that in this business, you know, but I'm different. It was based on musicianship. A lot of it was people that I knew, people I liked, great guitar players. Some of the bands didn't have great guitar players in them, but they had people in there that were great musicians, like Fear Factory. I think that their drummer's a really exceptional drummer. And then bands like Bobaflex, and nobody really knew who they were at all. I thought that they were an interesting band because, you know, they had some good songs, and they didn't take themselves too seriously. Well, the records, the very first record was not a Capitol record, nor was the last two. So that's why none of those were on this. It's a Capitol EMI release, and the selection of songs were chosen by the fans And I think that's great, because if it sucked, I could have blamed them. But the good thing about it is Capitol was hoping that it would sell a certain amount of units by Christmas, and it's already surpassed that, and we're not even into November yet, so they're really thrilled about it. And it's just a matter of having somebody believe in us. The last few years we were at a record label that was a smaller label that I don't think they knew what to do with us, and with the major label that we were with before, everything that they've done with us has worked out really well. Well, I actually got involved and listened to all that stuff when I did the remastering and remixing of everything. So the greatest hits thing was fun for me, but again, it was something that the fans picked. There were a couple songs on there that I felt were missing. They weren't chosen, and I wanted them on there because I'm a fan too. I'm not just a band member. I really enjoy listening to what I write. I don't just write it and say, okay, that's it. I'll never listen to it again. There's sometimes I'll listen to the music and I haven't heard it for a really long time, and I'll think, wow, this is really fun to listen to.